DUIs have changed a great deal since I've been an attorney. And, right before I started, it was, a traffic ticket. It was supervision, appearance waived, and you went about your way. And it has since morphed into one of the most complex areas of the law because every time you get a DUI, you get two cases, not one. You get a criminal case and then you get a civil case. And the criminal case is the case against you, your person, your body. That's where you can end up going to jail for anywhere from a year in jail on a misdemeanor up to 30 years in jail on a felony. And depending on the classification and the certain enhancers that are involved, everything in between is on the table with regard to a DUI. So you can spend a significant amount of time in jail. And in some cases, jail is mandated. So if someone is hurt or injured in the course of a DUI, jail is presumed as the sentence, and you have to overcome that presumption. The second issue is licensure, and licensure is another track that what happens during the course of a DUI, you're issued another set of papers that affect only your license. And the issue there is called a statutory summary suspension, and what happens is either you end up getting your license back, or you have to drive with a breathalyzer on your car, or you don't get to drive at all, depending on the enhancers that you have in your criminal history. So there are two specific areas. The criminal case deals with criminal law. The statutory summary suspension deals with a very odd amalgamation of civil, criminal, and administrative law, which it follows its own rules. It has 5 different ways that you can end up beating this particular case to get your license back. Your license is only good for 45 days, and after that you have to end up making sure that you have filed a petition to rescind that statutory summary suspension, or you simply don't get your license back. It automatically goes into effect. A public defender cannot file the statutory summary suspension. Someone who has not done statutory summary suspension law, it can be a very Byzantine, very odd structure because it has its own body of case law that has its own section in the manuals about how to handle these particular actions. There are specific rules that can be invoked that don't follow the criminal case. You can damage your criminal case by going forward with a statutory summary suspension in certain aspects. It really depends on how you play this out. But they're always on these parallel lines, these parallel railroad tracks that go down the railroad tracks. The statutory summary suspension goes here, the criminal case goes here. They never intersect. They never affect one another. And that's where we end up having to have someone who has the experience to handle both of these. Let's say you're a professionally licensed person, a dentist, a doctor, a pilot. All of those things, when you get a DUI, if you end up with certain sentences, it has an impact on your ability to have a living because of self-reporting issues that you may have, which has a long-term impact on your ability to earn a living. Additionally, it can affect job opportunities in the future. One of the things about DUIs is you don't have physician-patient privilege. You don't have the ability to end up contesting under HIPAA, the information that's been tendered to the state, its use of that in the court. All of these things need to be navigated in a way that are just simply very complex and more complex than what we were dealing with just a ticket. It's not like a speeding ticket anymore. And some people still have that vision of it being just, well, I got a little square piece of paper, I got to go to court and I'll be fine. No, you really need to end up retaining somebody who can end up handling the complexities of this case. I have handled these for 30 years and conservatively I've handled literally thousands of DUIs. I've written the DUI manual. I have ended up lecturing on DUI law throughout the state, for everywhere from Waukegan all the way down to Cairo and over to Galena. At Springfield, I really have enjoyed teaching this area of law, and we've been very, very successful in teaching younger attorneys how to handle these things. We've had the pleasure of teaching prosecutors and defense attorneys, and we've even had judges attend our conferences, which I was very, very impressed and very humbled by.